All right, guys, I'm about to take a ALEKS exam to see if I pass out a trig. This might be a new series. If I don't pass out a trig, I'll probably do some studying and make some videos about learning it. And then, yeah, we'll go from there. Um, it says I have 2.5 hours. I'm not going to have time for that. So we'll see if I can do it in like an hour um, or an hour and a half. So that's it for now. Um, yeah, let's do it. I'll talk to you in a little bit. All right, Garage. Frankly, I was kind of pissed off with that quiz. It was difficult for me. Um, yeah, it took an hour and 15 minutes. It was a struggle, but we got through. Um, there was a few I clicked I don't know on. There was some stuff I really needed to work on. Um, yeah, logarithms. I just learned it last semester, which is really annoying. But I knew I struggled with logarithms, all right? Exponentials, easy. Logarithms, I need to relearn the logarithms just a little bit, and maybe some of it will come back to me. I think it is log base, number equals number, a equals b, and that is saying the base to what power b, base to b equals a. So you say log base 10 is 100, that would equal 2. I don't know. That we're going to delay the feedback here and we're going to probably check this out, but I think that's what it is. Now there are laws with logarithms, with pulling the thing in the front and multiplying by it like a constant times logarithm. That somehow relates to, you can move it into like what's actually the logarithms being performed on. Somehow it relates to that. I think you just move it in, but I could be wrong. Addition, subtraction, multiplication, division. Addition, subtraction, I definitely know has something to do with it. Maybe it's multiplication. Yeah, there's stuff I need to work on with that. I can't spend a ton of time on here, but I'm gonna try and just recall big picture. It's things I need to work on. Triangles and trig. Okay, I believe, I know the triangle adds up to 180. I think when it's not a right triangle, then they're proportional. So if you've got a 50 degrees over here and 10, then you could say 50 over 10 equals, and this is 60 degrees and this is unknown, 50 over 10 equals 60 over unknown. There's that. I think it's proportional. When it's right triangle, though, you need to use like trig functions. And I need to recall. Trig, I knew bad. It was bad. And then you've got the trig triangles, right? This unit circle. Unit circle I never learned right. All right, I never learned it well. I can tell you what cosine, like the basics are, like 0, 1, or 0 pi over 2 pi, 0, 9 degrees, 180. I can do the main ones, 270, 360. Other than that, the in-betweens are difficult for me. I know it has to do with the ratios of the 45, 45, 90 and the 30, 60, 90 triangles. I can probably figure it out pretty quickly, but I just need to map what I don't know because I've never really, I always had trouble with math because, I always excelled, but I always had trouble because I always thought it was something you just know. Smart people, depending on how smart you are, you just know things and you're just trying to show you. It's the fixed mindset. All right, I'm turning that off. So now I'm going back. I'm actually learning this stuff through effortful trying. Like back in the day, I totally would have cheated on that. Totally would have cheated on that. That it was totally cheatable. But no, now I want to actually learn this shit, and it pisses me off that I don't know it by the age of 23. That the stuff I learned when I was like 15, I never learned actually. Even though I got an A in the class, it's annoying as hell. Even stuff I learned last semester. And I took 18 credits last semester. I got an A plus in every credit. But I also was building a business, and I can learn that stuff better. But I don't want to go too slow. I don't want to, I want to push into this difficult, uncomfortable scenario. So I think it's good. There's that. Trig with the waves, right? The 2D waves. right? I know the shape of the sine. I know the shape of the cosine. I know I think I reviewed this with ChatGPT a couple days ago. I'm pretty sure the period, that is how often the thing repeats, the pattern repeats for sine and cosine, they are 360 degrees, aka 2 pi. And then half of that for tangent. Now, I don't know about the two-dimensional with secant, cosecant. I think it's cosecant, right? Secant, cosecant, and cotangent. Cotangent's obviously the pairs with tangent. Secant and cosecant, I don't remember. Secant and cosine? I think it would be the obvious connection would be sine and secant. And then cosine, cosecant. But I don't think that's actually how it is. I think it's unintuitive like that. But these trig functions need to review the relationships there. The graphs. So I think it's, a times a trig function and then what's in the parentheses. I'm pretty sure this is the amplitude of the a, but what does this do? What does the stuff in the parentheses do? It's going to shrink and expand the period? Probably. Determinant. I'm pretty sure it's negative b over 2a. That just came to my mind. What the hell is a determinant? That's something I should know. I don't want to just be able to do. I want to know actually conceptually what's going on. I don't know. I do not know. I'll tell you that much. But I'm trying to learn, and it's so easy just to give up. It's so easy to quit. It's so easy to cheat. So easy to speed run. No, I really want to do this right. I really want to do it well. I'll tell you what. I was pretty decent with the other stuff. The arithmetic, the algebra 1 and 2, the trig, not so much. But that's a good sign because I've done in college the math before it. So anything else I can remember that I need to review? How to do inverse the trig function, inverse trig functions, how those relate to the unit circle, how to calculate them. A whole bunch. I'll just say that. Okay. Well, anyway, can we log on? There it is. All that to say, I did test out of trig. I tested into the highest bracket. So I did get to the highest level of math you can test into. However, I'm going to improve on my weaknesses. Because I want to go into calculus with my best foot forward and a solid foundation. Just going to see what I got wrong and right. Whole numbers, fractions, decimals. That's like pre-algebra stuff. Nailed that with a 37 out of 37. Percents, proportions, and geometry. 30 out of 32. Something I missed in there, which is that's just like arithmetic. I probably should be able to get that. It's like pre-algebra. Signed numbers, linear equations, inequalities. That's like basic algebra 1. 53 out of 53. Good. Lines and systems of linear equations. 22 out of 27. What went wrong there? How did I miss stuff? That's algebra. I just took a class on that. Relations and functions. Also not good. 15 out of 22. Like, dude, that's not good. That's like annoying. But I guess whatever. Integer and exponent, integer, exponents, and factoring. 15 out of 22. No. 29 out of 30. Pretty good. Decent. Quadratic and polynomial function. This is more algebra too. And no, that's like algebra, which is annoying as hell that I can't get that shit when I just took a course on it. 14 out of 21. Rational expressions. What is a rational expression? And functions. 14 out of 23. Radicals and rational expressions, 16 out of 20. Exponents and logarithms, 9 out of 20. Really bad. Trigonometry, 6 out of 29. Terrible. So I'm hoping this is like typical ALEKS, where it's going to help me improve on the weaknesses and not just random stuff, like give me a pi. It does give me a pi. That is awesome. That is awesome. Okay, I love ALEKS. Use it to review material, learn new topics, or prepare to retake the placement assessment. You know 197 out of 281 topics. And this gives me flashbacks of liberal arts math for liberal arts majors back in Cali, back in Santa Barbara. Great time. This very desk, this very keyboard, this very computer. Actually, yeah, this computer broke it. The last computer broke it during that semester, but except I was sitting, I think I was probably facing like this way, it feels like. I can't even tell. Oh, I might have just been facing this way in my bedroom. Well, I guess this is something we're doing here. I can retake the exam up to 5 or 4 more times, so I want to keep going and getting better. I mean, we got obviously a lot of stuff to improve on. Anyway, that's it for today. I guess we're doing this tomorrow. Talk to you tomorrow then. See you.